Well, good morning everyone. My name is Falgun and today we'll be discussing about the nutrition in human beings. Okay, so as we know, alimentary canal starts from the mouth and ends at the anus. Okay, so today in this session we are going to discuss how whatever food we are eating, how that food gets digested, okay, and how that digested food gets absorbed in the body, and that undigested food gets out of a body. This is what we all are going to discuss in this session. Okay, so let's begin with the mouth itself, right? So whenever we take any sort of food into our mouth, right, so what we do is we just crush or the mouth, or with the help of teeth, okay, we just crush the food into smaller compounds or smaller particles of its same texture, right? So once we have broken that bigger kind of food into smaller pieces, so and then comes here, what we do is we do the paste of that food, okay, with the help of mouth waters, right? That is what we call, right? So that is not actually the mouth waters. That mouth waters is actually, that is a saliva. Okay, whatever the water we are saying, that is not actually water, that is a saliva. Okay, saliva contains enzymes. That enzymes help to break down of a starch or a complex form of food into simpler form. Okay, and that saliva helps the food to soften and make that food into a paste. Okay, so let us discuss something about saliva itself. Okay, saliva contains salivary amylase. Salivary amylase is the enzyme that breaks the starch complex form of sugar or starch into simpler form. Okay, so coming back, so once the food is made into paste, okay, once the food became as a paste, okay, the hard form of food now became the paste. The paste form of the food, as the question arises, right, why it should be made into paste, right? As we know that inner lining of a alimentary canal is soft and smooth, right? So we have to make that paste. Okay, we have to make the hard form of food into paste form. As a result, you know what happens there, the food can easily pass into the esophagus or food pipe and moves to the stomach without any sort of trouble in between, right? So that is a reason why food is converted into paste form, okay, by the help of saliva. Okay, once the food okay, let me discuss this thing with the help of diagram itself. Okay, so what we are taking inside a food, inside a mouth, that is what this region is all about. Okay, so the mouth region is also called as an buccal cavity. That is what we know. In other words, we can say the mouth region is also said as buccal cavity. Okay, so once the food is processed or broken down or made into paste in this buccal cavity, the paste or food, the food is the main destination of a food to go to the stomach here. Okay, so the food moves to the stomach with the help of with the pipe like structure, that is nothing but that is the esophagus. That esophagus is, the other name is food pipe, we can say that. Okay, so the food moves towards the stomach here. Okay, so as the food from here to here, the food moves in some kind of movements, okay, which is not the similar as we usually see. Okay, that is not similar, or that is not a common kind of movement occurs in this form. So that kind of movement I'm going to discuss. So let me see you what that kind of movement is said. That movement, okay, that movement is nothing but that is a peristaltic movement. Okay, so let us first understand what is peristaltic movement. Okay, so peristaltic movement is nothing but that is a contraction and expansion of a muscles occurs. As a result, the food is pushed into the stomach from the mouth itself. Okay, so let us understand bit deeply about peristaltic movement. Okay, so this is the food pipe I'm having. Okay, so this is the esophagus. Okay, the food is in here. Okay, food is in here. So initially there is no such peristaltic movement can be seen. Okay, so after some time food reaches in middle part. Okay, in middle somewhere here, from here food reaches somewhere here. So the structure of the muscles here, the structure of muscles will be different than it as it is. Okay, the structure of the muscles will be somewhere in this way. Okay, so now what happens, you can see this muscular esophagus, or this muscular food pipe actually tightly holds the food particle, right? This muscular this muscular food pipe tightly holds the food particle. Okay, so as a result, what happens, the region where the food particle is present, in this region the muscles expand, or expansion of muscles occurs in this region. Okay, and the region where the food is not present, precisely that is called as this region is called as an contracted muscles region. Okay, so in this region muscle contracts, and in this region muscle expands. Okay, as the food moves downwards, the expansion of muscles, expansion of the muscles. Okay, expansion of the muscles also moves as the food moves downwards. With the food, the expansion also moves downwards. Okay, finally this food, if that is nearby stomach, that will be in this form. Okay, so as the food moves, this expansion of muscles also expands and moves downwards. Okay, understood? I hope you understood. So this kind of movement is called as an peristaltic movement. So this kind of movement is called as an peristaltic movement. So let me say you one important thing. Peristaltic movement never depends on gravity. Okay, if we eat something, let me give you an example. Okay, if we eat while sleeping, if we eat when we are upside down, then still the food moves into the stomach. Haven't you find a question out of that situation? Yes, I hope you would have found the question, right? Like how the food gets into the stomach even though I'm upside down. So well, the movement of the peristaltic movement never depends on the gravity. Okay, that is the reason where even you are in the space, you can eat. Okay, because peristaltic movement doesn't depends on the gravity. I hope you are clear with that. Okay, so the food passes into the stomach. Okay, through the esophagus. Okay, now in the stomach, complete mixing of the food occurs here. Okay, once the food enters into the stomach, okay, the complete mixing of a food occurs here. Okay, once the complete mixture of the food occurs, as the walls of a stomach contains gastric glands. So it contains gastric glands. So gastric glands produces gastric juices. So gastric juices contains HCl, gastric juices contain mucus and pepsin. Okay, so let me discuss the role of three kind of things which gastric glands produces, okay, inside a stomach. Okay, so gastric juices actually is of three types, as I said, right? HCl, pepsin and mucus. Okay, so the role of HCl, okay, the role of HCl inside of stomach is it provides a medium. Okay, it provides a medium in which the pepsin enzyme gets acted upon proteins. Okay, so let me say you again, the role of HCl is it makes the medium. Okay, so that the pepsin enzyme will act upon proteins and dissolve the proteins into simpler forms. Okay, so that is the role of pepsin and the HCl in here. Okay, so what is the role of mucus in the stomach? The role of mucus in the stomach is it prevents the HCl as we know, HCl is acidic in nature, so HCl absolutely harms our muscles region, right? So the mucus makes sure that the inner lining of a or inner muscular lining of a stomach is prevented from the HCl, as HCl affects the muscular region. So mucus doesn't allow the HCl to make any sort of damages to the inner lining of a stomach. So that was all about the functions what stomach does in the process of nutrition or in the process of digestion. Okay, so let us move further. Okay, so then now the food is inside our stomach. Okay, now the food have to move into the small intestine. Okay, so it is regulated by it is the movement of food from the stomach to small intestine is regulated by a muscle that is called as an splinter. Okay, splinter. Okay, so actually what happened right now is so a funny thing happened. So video the camera has stopped from here onwards. So as I have discussed about all the thing about small intestine, large intestine, everything, but it haven't recorded yet. So that was the most embarrassing thing I have ever faced, right? So no problem, no worries, we'll discuss it again. Okay, so I was discussing about the splinter muscle. Okay, so splinter muscle, what it does is it regulates the movement of a food which is digested, okay, partially digested in the stomach. So the splinter muscles allows the food to, or it regulates the food to move from stomach to the small intestine. Clear up to this? Okay, so now the small intestine receives the food from the stomach. Not only it receives the food from the stomach, but it also receives the secretions of the liver and pancreas. Any doubt? Okay, once again I'll say, not only small intestine receives the food from the stomach, but it also receives the secretions from the liver and pancreas. Okay, so let us understand what are the secretions of liver and pancreas and how the secretions it affects the food in digestion in the small intestine. Let us clear everything. Okay, so let us start the further discussion about the small intestine. Okay, so the length of a small intestine is like around 6 meters in human beings. Okay, while the length of a large intestine is around 1.5 meter in a human beings. Okay, so coming back to the small intestine, so small intestine, as it receives food from the stomach and it also receives secretion from liver and pancreas, as I have mentioned earlier. So what are the secretions from the liver? Let us understand, and what is the impact of the secretions on the food present in the small intestine. Okay, so the liver secretes bile juice. Okay, so bile juice is transferred into the small intestine through the bile duct. Okay, this is the bile duct. Okay, so what is the role of bile duct on the food is bile duct helps in breakdown of a fat globules into smaller forms. Okay, once again I'm repeating, bile duct helps the fat globules bile duct helps the larger fat globules to break down into the smaller forms. Okay, that is the role of bile duct here. Nothing much to be understood in this particular thing. Okay, so let us move on to the pancreas. Okay, as pancreas secretes the pancreatic juice. Okay, so what does the pancreatic juice contains? Okay, so pancreatic juice contains trypsin and lipases. Okay, trypsin is something trypsin is an enzyme that helps in break down the proteins. Okay, let me say you, in the case of stomach, we also have studied about the pepsin. No doubt pepsin breakdowns in the protein, but also further breakdown of a protein which haven't undergo the breakdown process in the stomach, that will be broken down in the small intestine. That is the reason why we call the small intestine as it is a site of complete digestion, right? For this reason only. And proteins is further digested. Okay, the undigested protein will be digested in in the small intestine. So that will be digested by the trypsin enzyme, which is secreted by the pancreas, right? So apart from the trypsin, we also have lipases. So lipases is a protein, sorry, I have mistaken here. So lipases is a enzyme which digests the fat globule. Okay, lipases are the enzyme which dissolves fat globules or lipid globules. Okay, so that is the role of lipases here. Okay, so apart from this, okay, the inner lining of a small intestine also contains intestinal glands. Okay, intestinal glands helps the protein to break the protein into amino acids. Okay, helps the fats, or it breaks the fats into glycerol and fatty acids, and it breaks the complex form of carbohydrate into simpler form. That is the role of intestinal juice, which is present inside the small intestine. Okay, now at this particular situation, the food is completely digested. In the small intestine. So the next step after the digestion is absorption. So there is a finger-like structures which is present inside of a small intestine, inner lining of a small intestine. Okay, the same finger-like projections are called as nothing but that is called as villi. That finger-like projections are called as villi, villi, villi. Okay, so the villi absorbs the digested or required nutrient into the body, and also it is responsible for the transportation of that dissolved food to the each and every cell of our body. Okay, villi helps for that. Okay, and apart from that, okay, about the function of the villi, now as the function of the villi completes here. Okay, so as the villi absorbs all the required nutrients, so what is left over in the small intestine? That is excessive water and waste material. These two kind of particles are left in the small intestine. Okay, now it is moved to the large intestine. That excessive water and the food particles, or excessive water and waste particles or waste material will be transported into the large intestine. Okay, let me say you again. Large intestine, the length of a large intestine is 1.5 meters. Okay, comparatively very small as compared to small intestine. Large intestine length is very small. Okay, so the excessive, okay, now I have to say this again. Villi is not present only in the small intestine, as it is present in the large intestine as well. Okay, so what is the role of villi that is present in the large intestine? Basically, that villi, it absorbs all the excessive water from the waste material and makes the waste material more concentrated. Okay, so excessive water will be absorbed through the villi of the large intestine. Now the waste material is concentrated. That the concentrated waste material will be removed out through the anus. Okay, removed out through the anus. This removal is controlled by anal, that is muscle. Okay, this removal is controlled by the muscle, that is anal sphincter. Okay, so this was all about the nutrition in the human beings. So I hope you understood. Okay, if you got any sort of doubt on this, make sure you leave that in comment section down below. I'll definitely try to help you in that and solve your problem. And if you really understood what I have discussed today, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button. That is how you show the support for me, and that is where I feel more motivated to again make this kind of videos further. And that is where we'll be discussing all the topics on biology, and with that said, thank you for watching once again, and see you soon. See you in next video. Bye bye.